Wide wicket.
Yeah. Young Gerald. Yeah. Die line with the boom pow. Every week now I switch to a new style. 212s in the back just blew out. Everything I do end up in the news now. Yeah. Lead a club with a few now. Just some Hollywood girls and they do. I'm in the mood now. 2 a.m. What you wanna do now? What you wanna do now? Little baby pass. Don't spill on me. That's Margella. Got this Oakland game to tell her. She look familiar. At Coachella, what's her name? Isabella, forget it, yeah. It's like a week ago, but we both know how weekends go. Tryna function, got some places we could go. Lot y'all got me speaking slow like, yeah, I'm blessed. I don't GA, you tryna, yes on yes. Say less. Say less. You ain't no. Say less. Yeah. Say less. Hey girl, what it do? If you got friends, cool, bring a few through. No fun if the homies now R.I.P. Nate Dogg, this too true. And you know what I'm down for. Round 2, round 3, and a round 4. Mood switch when she knocked at the front door. Next up was the uproar. Yeah, was like a week ago, but we both know how weekends go. Tryna tuck off, got some places we could go. Swear she got the like wow, she's blessed, I'm blessed. I don't GA. You tryna yes on yes. Say less. Say less. You ain't no. Say less.
Sheesh. What you saying? I don't understand. I'm out my mind. I popped. Sheesh. I swear this lock shot got me stuttering. Girl, you so fine, I fall in love again. Sheesh. Get it. My favorite rush. You talkative, ain't gotta say too much. Be quiet. Who got some grapes? I'm trying to. I'm off board for these. Get it. Not complicated. No conversation. Get it. Not complicated. No conversation. Please say less. Please say less. Please say less.
I'm blessed. I don't GA. You tryna yes on yes. Say less.
Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. Welcome to Madden 8.
Thank you very much, Larry. EA Sports coverage of the NFL. The National Football League is here and on the air. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Chicago Bears and the Atlanta Falcons. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. They go play action here on first down. And right away, he lost the football. And the Falcons grab it. And he will score. Touchdown, Falcons. And give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. Now the return man, this is Benny Cunningham. Now a hit and a loose football. And I think he was able to get back on it. He was. So they will get the ball after all, but that could have been a disaster.
I didn't do this in college, but I did it in high school. When you return kicks, and you lose it yourself, the panic that goes through you and the determination to get the ball back, I don't even know how to describe it. And I think we just saw an example there.
And the relief when you get it back like he did.
Yeah, you go to the sidelines, you know you're going to get yelled at, but you can handle it because you got the ball back.
Now Glennon. Throw left side, taken in by Meredith. And the ball is knocked out. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. You probably talked about since training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that'll make it second down. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground.
Here we go. Green 39.
This is Howard on second down. And now Howard stripped. He lost the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. No dice this go around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Well, that run wasn't very successful. They did have a big one on the previous play. So you get the sense that the offense is probing around, trying to find the ones that are going to work. And when they find them, they'll keep coming back to them.
Glennon. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Brooks Reed in there to sack him for a loss of 6. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
I better raise my voice a little bit here, because one thing we can already tell, even in the first year in the league with this new stadium, it's going to get loud in this place.
Yeah, the old place was loud, but I think we're getting a sense that this place is going to be louder.
Yeah, they're riding that momentum of that 2016 team that finished their year in the Super Bowl.
They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. Devontae Freeman, they're not going to get him. Touchdown, Falcons. Devontae Freeman, 85 yards. And the Falcons are able to show off their quick strike ability. And with his speed, if he just finds the slightest crease, he can take it the distance like he did there.
How about the leverage up front? Offensive line out-leveraging the defensive front to create that space, that crease that he was looking for. And once he hits open field, he's going to be very difficult to catch and corral.
Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. Here's Bosher to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and he'll take over. Chicago's offense getting set to take over, and it's a crew, not only offensively, but defensively, obviously, collectively. The 4 straight last-place finishes. That's what they're facing as they enter 2018. Now, if Glennon hit, he loses the football. It's out. And fortunately, he's able to reel it back in, but it's going to go down as a big loss here on the play.
Well, that was a big oops right there. But how about his ability to correct it? Loses the football, able to get it back himself.
Yeah, pounced right back on it, keeps possession. The fake to Howard, now Glennon. The catch is made by Kendall Wright. And he's brought down after a good gain. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
And he finds a man with a crossing route. And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line. It's a big-time play there for the Bears. 56 yards.
That was a nice pickup, some chunk yardage there. Some of those big yards downfield with a little bit of rack thrown in there, a little run after catch. And it came on a crossing route. I could just hear one of my friends who won 4 Super Bowls as a quarterback always said the same thing. What route does a defense hate? Crossing route. Hate it, hate it, hate it, because it's hard to change direction when they get going full speed in the other way.
Second and goal. Defense digging in again here. And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on third, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably doing play action since you ran it twice. But I hope it...
Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. Victor Cruz, a 1-yard touchdown reception. And the Bears draw a bit closer. Well, it was 3rd and 1. I was expecting runs, so much for that. They pass it, they score it.
That had the feel of the head coach telling the offensive coordinator, you've got 4 downs here. We're going to go for it on 4th down unless there's a disaster on 3rd. Go ahead and take a shot if you want to. And he gratefully accepted the opportunity and did exactly that. If they didn't get it there, that had the feel that they would come back and try it on 4th down.
And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Falcons taking over on offense in just a second, and, you know, this year ended in disappointing fashion. Now, last year was the ultimate version of heartbreak, but if you're a Falcon fan, was this one was tough to swallow as well, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because let's be honest about it. Losing in the Super Bowl, I don't care how you lose, you were in the Super Bowl, you were playing for it all. This team was supposed to be as good or better. Ultimately ended up 10-6, found their way in the playoffs, but didn't get the deep run as they had the year before. So you're exactly right. For Falcons fans, that's a tough one. But this is a team that's built to be good for a long time.
They run. Devontae Freeman. And he'll get this up to about the 40. Second down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now. Freeman again. And he'll be brought down, but a tip of the cap on the spin move as that gives him a 1st down. That good for 19 and a 1st down.
And it is still early, just the first quarter. But you start prorating the numbers, and we might be in for some history. I mean, that last run puts him over 100 yards already, and we've still got 3 quarters to go.
Freeman with a fast feet. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a 1st. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Ryan. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. They'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
This is caught. It's Sanu this time for a Falcon touchdown. Mohamed Sanu from 13 yards out, and the Falcons will add on to their lead. And that was really just a great battle for that football on both sides. The result is a touchdown.
Ordinarily, I'd like to say it was a win-win, but it really wasn't because the defender, while he was there with excellent coverage, he didn't get the benefit, did he?
But he's not going to get chewed up in film session, right?
No, he was right there. They'll tell him, okay, of course you need to knock the ball away, but they won't be too upset with him. He did his job for the most part.
This will be fielded at the 6. And he loses the football a second time. And the Falcons grab it. And down inside the red zone at the 19-yard line. And that one is his second fumble loss. Not a good look out of your return man.
And not only does he hurt the momentum for his team or even change momentum of the game, but now they've got a decision to make on his own sideline. Does he continue to do that? Do you keep him in that role, or do you bring someone else in at this time?
It'll be a gain of 4, and it'll bring up a second down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Now it's Ryan. And that is incomplete. He was trying to hit Taylor Gabriel that time. And it's third down.
They decided to take a shot and right down the middle of the field, and really, they didn't give it as much time to develop, did they? They want to take that shot somewhere around the 15-yard mark.
And the defense able to recover, bat it free. Here's Ryan to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. Austin Hooper, a 14-yard touchdown. And the Falcons will extend their lead.
That's almost just not right. You cover everybody, but those tight ends, they can be awfully reliable.
Very reliable. Defense just has to hate those guys.
This drives them crazy because oftentimes you can't match up with them. They have you either with size, speed, or maybe even just strength.
Scoring summary, 3-play drive, and the Falcons score to cap it off. Here's Bosher to kick it away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he's going to be taken down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 1 quarter down. Can't wait to see what the second quarter has in store. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
As they take over here, 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Grady Jarrett busting through to get him for a loss of 6.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
This one to Howard. And he loses the football a second time. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
All I can say about this play is that someone's living right. I mean, he's trying to gain yardage, trying to get upfield. Ball comes free. What's that panic that we've talked about oftentimes that you feel when you lose the ball?
You can sense it.
Oh, you can sense it. And somehow he got to it and was able to recover it for his squad.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Trying for right, and it's intercepted. Devondre Campbell, the linebacker, picks it, and he's going to return it to the 21-yard line.
Well, it's 3rd and long, and you've got a few different ways to play it offensively. But this is not the type of offense that's going to wave the white flag. They're going to keep chucking it. And this time, it results in an interception.
Heading back onto the field, here's a look at Devontae Freeman now. He's already cruised past the 100-yard mark. We haven't even gone away for halftime yet.
He might not want halftime. All right, why cool off?
Keep everybody here.
Just stay out on the field and keep going. But all that being said, everything is really working well for them. The play calling's been excellent. The blocking's been terrific. And obviously his vision and legs have hurdled him to this big number so far. We could be seeing something really special here.
And we'll see how much they give him the ball here. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
After the penalty, here's Freeman. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3.
And a nice job defensively to keep him out of the end zone. He was trying to get his second touchdown already in the first half.
They had that one earlier, was bidding for a second. Second down, Ryan. And this is caught for a Falcon touchdown. Devontae Freeman. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Falcons will add on to their lead. Well, he wasn't the guy they were initially going for, but after going through the progressions, it worked.
When you have plenty of people who can catch the football, you don't always have to go to your primary target, and sometimes that target is actually covered. Nice job coming off of that and getting it to someone who was open.
And the man out of the backfield gets in for the score. Bryant now to tack on the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. Here's Bosher to kick it away. It's a short kick, taken near the 18. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Mike Glennon and the Bears, heading back onto the field. He's had a solid start to this game, but bottom line is they're losing, so he doesn't care about his stats. He just wants to right the ship on the scoreboard.
He wants to actually increase his stats because he feels like if he does, that means things will get better for his team, maybe get them back into the ballgame or into the lead. In these situations, I remember playing with a quarterback once where he actually...
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Falcons grab it. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
Matt Ryan and the offense heading back onto the field. He hasn't had his best day. They have been good running the football, and they have the lead, though, so maybe he just personally wants to improve his play.
And that's without a doubt, because at the end of the game, he wants to feel like he had a really good hand in his team winning, if in fact they do go on and get that done. But the bottom line is, finding a way to win the game. So if you're not playing that well, but somebody else is on the team, keep going to that hot hand.
Yeah, not over yet, but looking good here in the second quarter.
Well, he did almost everything right. Excellent coverage, breaks on the football, just unable to haul it in and take it the other way. So he dropped an interception. The key for him now, don't dwell on it. Just move on to the next play.
Watch left, watch left. Here we go.
On second down, Freeman. And he's going to take this one down inside the 45. Second down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
The Falcons on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This time it's 3rd and 3. Again, they'll run with Freeman. Well, he's taken down, but not before picking up the first thanks to a flashy little spin move. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. This is Freeman on 1st and 10. Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again, go play action, hit them over the top.
And now a 10th carry for Freeman. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
The Falcons averaged 34 points a game last year, tops in the NFL with that powerful offense, and they're already looking for more. Here's they've got it 1st and 10. And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. Austin Hooper, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Falcons add on. And when a Hail Mary is completed for a touchdown pass like that, I think any defensive coordinator just puts their face right into their hands.
I don't think there's any doubt about it, and I don't have stats in front of me. I don't have the empirical numbers that say that in recent years the Hail Mary pass has been completed more than it has been, but it feels that way, doesn't it? And I know the defenses are spending more time on it. I think the biggest mistake they make is that they play everything from behind the receiver. I think they've got to start getting people in front as well to try and knock the ball away.
Here's Bosher to kick it away. Set to return now. Here's Deontay Thompson. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So the football switching hands here in just a second. And, you know, Tom Brady, just to go off on a tangent for a second, may have lost the Super Bowl. But 3rd MVP this past season, and what he did at age 40, really something, right, Charles?
Absolutely phenomenal. Ended up beating out Todd Gurley, the running back for the Los Angeles Rams. But he would have traded it for a Super Bowl win, don't you think? How about this? The last 9 NFL MVPs to play in the Super Bowl that same season, 0-9.
Yeah.
They go all the way back to Kurt Warner in, 1999 where he won the double?
We were going over that stat earlier. That is hard to believe.
But he would have been the MVP had the Patriots pulled that one out.
Yeah, he still has 5 rings, though. 5 Super Bowl titles for Brady.
Here we go now.
He'll look to throw. And this one is incomplete. Cameron Meredith the intended target, and it's third down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. They'll look to throw. Drops it off for Carey. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
And I know you can't really see it, but that play spells frustration with a capital F for the guys on defense. They covered everyone else, end up going to the running back out of the backfield, and he picks up a back-breaking first down.
On first down, they run with Howard. And oh my goodness, he loses it again. And the Falcons grab it. And he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. This first half has been a nightmare for that offense. Defense just dominating them.
And when you're picking up the ball, picking up their mistakes, and taking it the other way and putting it in the end zone, that's a defense's dream. They're having that type of a game.
Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for this offensive unit. Now, whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. They'll try and run with Freeman. And, boy, talk about adding insult to injury. He's into the end zone to tack on 2 more. So a big play there. Not only the fumble return for the touchdown, then they get the 2-point try. And, you know, for the defense, though, they were just over there sitting on the field. They had to rush out to try to defend that.
You know, it's funny. They actually practice situations that they call sudden change when the team turns it over. I'll guarantee you no one practices a fumble return for a touchdown like that, and now someone goes for 2. Really good strategy by them putting them in that situation.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. It's a short kick taken near the 18. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Jordan Howard and the rest of the offense heading back out there. He's had a good chunk of carries. Problem is for very little success. I don't want to put it all on his shoulders, but that's a big reason they're losing right now.
Have to be very careful that he doesn't start pointing fingers. Offensive line obviously trying. The defense is doing a nice job against him today. When it's all said and done,
some pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. And if you're the defense and those D tackles, you like that they're trying to run the football here against your 4-3, don't you?
Yeah, because they tend to eat things up because they are so strong and physical, and especially when they play with leverage where they get lower than the offensive lineman.
Well, and hit, he loses the football. It's out. They find some open field here. And he will score. Touchdown, Falcons. This first half has been a nightmare for that offense. Defense just dominating them.
And when you're picking up the ball, picking up their mistakes, and taking it the other way and putting it in the end zone, that's a defense's dream. They're having that type of a game.
Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for this offensive unit. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. It's a short kick taken near the 18. Now a hit and a loose football. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
Oftentimes when we talk about piling on in any subject, it's a negative. In this case, for this team, it's a real positive. Just scored. Now they go down, knock the ball free, get it back. they got a chance to really increase their lead and put themselves in the driver's seat.
On the other side, a little insult added to the injury. They're in a bad spot. Now it's Ryan. Flush to his right. He completes it to Julio Jones. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Julio Jones, 37 yards. And the Falcons continue to pour it on. And a nice job by him to catch the slant and then navigate and break free.
And receivers love slant routes because it gets the ball in their hands so quickly and oftentimes on the move. And when they're on the move like that, then they get to use their best asset, which is usually their speed.
And their speed sometimes, like this instance, can take them into the end zone. Here's Bosher to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. 1:57 to go in this first half. We're back to Atlanta right after this timeout. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Larry Ridley will have the highlights and analysis of this first half from our studios in Orlando.
And I have a feeling those highlights will be pretty one-sided, too.
I think you're right, partner. They'll set up the screen to Howard. 7 yards there on the first down screen play. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Kendall Wright, the intended target. And it's 3rd and short.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Back to throw here. Got a man, it's Wright. And he's got enough for the first across midfield to the 48. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. He'll look to throw. Trying for Wright, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. Oh, good move. Breaks the tackle. He's got room to run. The 20, 10, and he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown. Well, Deion Jones and pick sixes, they're going together like peas and carrots. Last year.
And I know part of the reason is his speed. He's one of the fastest linebackers that you're going to find in the NFL. But another part is he's not very tall. Sometimes he gets lost in coverage. When a quarterback's looking downfield, he just doesn't see him, and he ends up making big plays.
One of those pick sixes last year, 90-yard return against Drew Brees in his hometown of New Orleans. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. It's a short kick. Now a hit and a loose football, and the Falcons grab it. And he will score. Touchdown, Falcons. A big play there. Taking it in, and the Falcons add on. So they get the one-score kickoff, get a fumble, take it right back to the house. 2 quick touchdowns within a matter of about 10 seconds on the game clock.
It's like a big 1-2 punch that may lead to a knockout.
Here's Bryant for the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. It's a short kick taken near the 18. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. I want to give a hat tip real quick, Charles, to J.J. Watt before the possession switches here. Walter Payton, NFL Man of the Year. They totaled up how much he helped raise for hurricane relief, $37 million.
Incredible. Hurricane Harvey, which really hit the Houston area in a big way, and his original goal was $200,000.
And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. So the offensive unit called the TO, and now we are ready to resume play. They'll set up a throw. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. And that screen there on second down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying it is one thing. We can second guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize that it's broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the first down on third down. That way you don't lose any yardage.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long.
Here we go now. Green.
He'll drop to throw. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game.
Okay, Brandon, thanks, and welcome everyone to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get to the highlights. The Falcons have done a good job making the plays they need to in order to get out to a big lead. The Bears have an uphill battle in front of them, but will try to claw back in this one. All right, let's get it going. Here's the first half highlights. 1st and 10. Freeman's going to bust out into open space, and he'll take this all the way for the touchdown. That puts them on top by 14. Now 1st and 10. Miller's going to cough up possession here. Following the forced fumble. The catch is made after a quick pass, and 21 yards later, he'll go in for the score as they continue to dominate.
Sorry, Larry. Your hard work appreciated by so many men and women, but not today as we get back to the action in the second half. On the return, here's Justin Hardy. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the second half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustments, kind of the key phrase. What did you do at halftime? Well, the way they ran offense in the first half, I think they were very calm, congratulatory, but also what they were saying is, don't expect them to be the same on defense. They'll be the ones making the adjustments. Let's see what they do, and we'll attack accordingly.
And we'll see how they attack here. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, second down. Second and 10 now. Ryan. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up third. Well, they haven't had a whole lot of success in the passing game here. Now, in the second half, he's thinking, I guess maybe just take a shot deep.
I think you're right. almost looking for a bailout, isn't he? Can my receiver go up and make a big play for me? Can I create a penalty downfield, maybe pick up an interference call and get that yardage downfield? Anything trying to get going again, but you're right. He definitely took a shot.
2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
And all the way down to the 24-yard line. An incredible play there on 4th down. 41 yards on the ground.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Freeman again, a 1st down carry. And now running right through him. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down.
That's another nice run, and I have to tell you, some of the coaches that I played for, their philosophies were always different when they see a guy running the ball well. Some of them wanted to immediately go to play action and throw it now because it's wide open. Well, other coaches said, you know something? Until they stop him, that big boy's going to keep getting the football. And that might be the direction that they're going to go right now. 2
big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Here's Freeman. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
And he's going to press this one forward as they stop it right around the 1. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to set up a 3rd and goal.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game.
And he will take it in for a Falcon touchdown. Tevin Coleman punching it in from a yard away. And the Falcons continue to pour it on. Able to punch it in on 3rd down makes it easier for those guys on the sideline. They didn't have a 4th down decision to make.
Yeah, could you feel the exhale? Because they were already thinking ahead, as all the good coaching staffs do. Anticipating, will we have to make the call? They already had it lined up. Never even got to it.
Here's Bosher to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25.
Let's go.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And now a fumble. The ball's out, and the Falcons grab it. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line.
They make so many catches that are so tough, so acrobatic, so difficult, that often surprises me when they actually turn the ball over. You know, when the ball actually comes free. It's amazing sometimes because of what we see them do on so many different plays.
Had the catch, but couldn't control it on the contact. Oh, and now he bowls him over. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and into the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it.
On 2nd down, here's Ryan. Throw left side complete. It's Hardy. Touchdown, Falcons. Justin Hardy, 37 yards. And the Falcons capitalize on the fumble and turn it into 6. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Short kick. One of the up middle take it now. And they're going to be set up in excellent field position up past the 45.
We all know that teams never want to use the word panic. But if they expect to win this game, it has to start right here, right now. That return just set them up for points, and it needs to be a touchdown, not a field goal.
His throw incomplete.
When we talk with people about what we think the most important quality for an NFL quarterback to possess, what do people usually say?
Arm strength, and he showed the arm strength there.
Yeah, pretty good bullet pass he threw, but he wasn't accurate, was he?
No.
Listen, you like mobility, but accuracy, first and foremost, is what a quarterback needs. He didn't possess it on that play.
Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter.
Watch left. Tight end to the left, tight end left. Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
A give to Howard running left. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Oftentimes when you're not winning at the point of attack for an offensive line, maybe they're getting out physical. Spread things out a little bit, make it more of a one-on-one blocking scheme. Then you don't have to win it.
And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line.
Well, from what we've seen thus far, this is not a formula for winning football. When you have more turnovers than points scored, that's a tough way to try and win a game.
And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was trying to hit Taylor Gabriel that time. And that'll bring up second down. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for third down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. Ryan. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit because they nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
2nd and 10. It's Ryan again. And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's third down now. And not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half.
It's good to be the kicker for the top offense in the NFL, and Matt Bryant was that in 2016. Led the league in scoring with 158 points, but boy, does Atlanta find him valuable. So dependable and clutch.
And he's been valuable in this league for a while. Hard to believe he's been around since 2002. The Bears offense now heading back out onto the field, and 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. Again, it's Howard. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right, he's pretty much been completely neutralized. They'll set up to throw. Miller on the catch over the middle. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? They sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. They go play action here on 1st down. And his throw here is incomplete.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line is just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
They'll get 6 there on the run, but it brings up 4th down.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. You'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Matt Ryan and the offense heading back onto the field. He's been a good game manager. They're winning here in the 3rd quarter, but really the ground game is where it's been at for them, hasn't it?
So whatever the game plan was, you just got to focus on continuing to run the football. And really that takes the pressure off of the guy throwing it around. Doesn't have to be the focal point. Hand it off, let him chew up the yardage in big plays, and your team's winning. A lot of people upset. The fantasy guys that may have started him at quarterback in their leagues.
And we'll see if they continue with the recipe of the ground game. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game, but what a nice play by the defense. Stepping up on that one, maybe they'll get things going in their direction.
Back now here on EA Sports. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. Now it's Freeman. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Barthema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. Give him 8 yards on the carry, and that's going to bring up 4th down.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing him further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't. And a fake here. Direct snap to the up man. Knocks him over. goes off. They get the first. It's a big play that time on the fake punt. And they're able to pick up the conversion here on 4th down. So they snap it straight to the up man. What's his responsibility? Normally, obviously, just to protect, but he's got to be a guy that can be pretty agile too, right?
Yeah, without a doubt, because you're talking about a guy, even in protection, he may have to slide up and down the line of scrimmage to pick up someone who comes through trying to block a punt. So you know he's got that ability to move, but oftentimes it's usually a running back, a fullback, someone who's used to having the ball in their hands. He's able to pick up the first down.
Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to...
And he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. Devontae Freeman taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Falcons add on. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
So they are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it ends in a touchdown run from Devontae Freeman. Here's Bosher to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. Now a hit and a loose football. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy, because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
And his throw is incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Now Howard, and he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
That's complete to Meredith. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now.
All right, here we go. Green, 39. Green.
Now Glennon. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively, because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Glennon hit. He loses the football. It's out. The big man, get the oxygen tank ready. And he will score. Touchdown, Falcons. Huge play by the defense, not only to force the fumble, obviously, but to return it for a touchdown.
And I know it's no fun for anyone who plays offense, but isn't it fun to see how a defense rallies when there's a fumble return and everyone tries to find someone to block and bring it all the way home?
I always like their celebrations because they don't get there that often.
No, they're not choreographed very well usually.
Now, this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. It's a short kick taken near the 18. And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35. Now the Bears offense ready to take over again. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear them. The coaches from all the way up here, they were adamant, you've got to hold on to the football or else we have no hope.
Yeah, it's easy for me to laugh sitting up here, but you're exactly right. If we were down there, that message would have been received a whole different way. Because turnovers, they've been a big problem for them. Got to take care of the football. Got to hold on to it.
And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Completion left side to Miller. And he's going to be taken down, but not before reaching the 15-yard line. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
Glennon gives to Howard on the draw. Now Howard stripped. He lost the football, and the Falcons grab it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. Freeman with a fast feet. And he's brought down after a good gain. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
Brandon, it's all about pace and tempo now for them. They've got the advantage, so I'm going to put musical terms for you. You don't want to go prestissimo. That's too quick, too lively, right? But you also don't want to slow it down too much. You don't want to go lento. What you really want to be is moderate.